Peace was good. Welcome to None Store, my CD collection. It's part 18. I know it's been a couple of weeks. It's been about, I think, like 3 weeks or some shit like that. But better late than never. Just been busy with work and, making beats and, doing beat videos and a whole bunch of other shit. Before I start, I want to recommend you guys this shit. Crystal Light Mojito, crack. That's all I gotta say. If you like lemonade mixed in with like a little bit of mint, that mint flavor, like a mint taste to it, then you'll definitely enjoy this Crystal Light joint. Highly recommended. But without further ado, let me start with the first album of the day. Is Cypress Hill's fifth album, Skull and Bones, released in 2000. I don't have this album. This is actually not mine. This is actually a kid that I knew back in the day that actually put me onto Cypress Hill. It was his CD, but he actually, I guess, he took back the CDs, but he left this open, so I was like, fuck, I'll let me keep it. But anyways, this is the fifth album. Overall, the album's okay. It's not the best album. Around this time, Cypress Hill, I guess, like, the popularity started kind of like going down in a sense. Because I don't know, like they started, their sound changed. They started going more towards like the new metal sound. Like the Limp Bizkit, Slipknot, or maybe not Slipknot like sound wise, but like more like in a Limp Bizkit type of feel. You know what I mean? Like that sound that was popular back in the late 90s, like from like 98 to like 2002, 2001. It was a different change for it, you know what I mean? Different change for Cypress Hill. It was something I wasn't really used to, I'm used to like, Cypress Hill from the early to mid 90s, like Black Sunday, Temple of Boom, their first album, the unreleased EP that they came out back in 96. Even the fourth album, 4, which came out 2 years before this album. But anyways, getting back to this, it's known for the singles I was known for are Rap Superstar, which was the first single, Rock Superstar, which was the rock version, what's the other song, High Life, which was another single, and Can't Get the Best of Me, which was on the Bones CD. The Skull is the hip hop section where they do the rapping and all that. And the Bones is the rock version, you know what I mean? But like I said, it's not for everybody. If you're not really familiar with Cypress Hill, and you want to get familiar with Cypress Hill, this wouldn't be the album to start with. I would start with like from their first album, or if not, I would start with maybe like Black Sunday, just to be safe, you know what I mean? But this is Skull and Bones, released in 2000. Go pick it up. Then we got Cypress Hill's second album, Black Sunday, released in 1993. By far, one of my favorite albums from them. In fact, their first 3 albums are my favorites from them. But if I had to choose out of the 3, I would say Black Sunday and the Temple of Boom album are my favorites out of the first 3. But yeah, very fucking dope album. Very darker than the original, than the first album. The first album was kind of like more street oriented. Not to say this wasn't. This was definitely street oriented. A lot of their music is street oriented, but the first one was kind of like more street. This was a lot more darker. It's like more psychotic type of dude. Like it kind of reminded me, like some psychotic dudes just running with a gun and shit like that. You know what I mean? Just like some dudes that's escaped from the mental institution, just running with a gun and shit like that. That's the vibe I get from this album. Very dope. Known for songs like Insane in the Brain, Ain't Going Out Like That, When the Ship Goes Down, or When the Shit Goes Down, and Lick a Shot. Yeah, very dope album. Highly recommend it, man. Like I said, just what I just said about the Skulls and Bones albums. If you want to get into Cypress Hill, not familiar with them, this is the perfect album to start off with, or even their first album if you're brave. Because the reason I say that, because I know a lot of people, especially hip hop heads, are very kind of prejudiced towards the early 90s, because it's like, oh, the rhyming back then was kind of like simple and basic, and like some of the beats were kind of like too old school for some cats. Some people, especially nowadays, they prefer maybe like more like the mid 90s. Like they're very only like 95, 94. You know what I mean? But there was dope hip hop in the 90s in general, despite what people say about 1997 and all that shit. But yeah, very dope. Highly recommended. Very dope album. In fact, I believe this is actually their best-selling album to date. This album actually went 3 times platinum. So that should tell you something. Very dope. Highly recommended. Yeah. Alright. Then we got Busta Rhymes' 4th album, Anarchy, released in 2000. Very dope album, very underrated in my opinion. I kind of feel like because there was no filler tracks, you know what I mean? Like none of the songs like party songs, like songs like Put Your Eyes Where I Can See, Put Your Eyes Where I Can See Them. I forgot the name of that song, but you know what I'm talking about. From When Disaster Strikes or Woo-Ha Got You All in Check. And it has none of those songs in this album. This album is like more straightforward, more like braggadocious tracks, more like street-oriented tracks and shit like that. People, I guess, were getting kind of tired of Busta Rhymes with the whole post-apocalyptic, the world coming to the end concept. I kind of feel like a lot of people don't give him credit for it because he was like the first MC to really do. Well, I wouldn't say he was the first, but I would say he's like the first MC to like really do out his whole album, like where he made it a whole topic, like the whole theme of the album was just fucking dope. Because I didn't really see any other MCs doing that. Like you had other MCs doing that, like Method Man with the Tikal Judgment Day album that came out back in 1998. But yeah, man, this album is fucking dope. Known for songs like Get Out, which was a single, and Fire. I could imagine like this album wasn't really heavily promoted because I don't really remember any like promotion coming out with this album, or if it did, it wasn't really it wasn't really strong. It was kind of weak. It was kind of like little promotion, but not many. And like I said, I think it's because due to like there was no filler tracks. No songs that you could play in the clubs and stuff like that. These are songs that straight, punch in your face type joints. You know what I mean? Very dope. Very slept on in my opinion. To me, the last good Busta Rhymes album. Yes, I said it because the other just because after this album, Busta Rhymes album-wise just has been declined. It's been on the decline. He kind of fell off in my opinion. Big Bang Theory was like the only decent album from his recent albums that was actually good, but this album, man, very dope. Highly recommended. It's not his best album, but the beats on this album, whoo, dope. You got songs like Ready for War with M.O.P., Why We Die featuring DMX and Jay-Z. I mean, oh my, the list goes on. The beats on this album, fucking sick. Highly recommended. Anarchy, released in 2000. Pick it up. Then we got VH1, the big 80s, Arena Rock, released in 2000. This is more like, if you're a fan of 80s music, like Arena Rock, kind of like Def Leppard or like, shit like that, then you'll definitely enjoy this album. It has artists like Foreigner, Duran Duran, Queen, Starship, Yes, Billy Idol, J. Giles Band, Pat Benatar, Eddie Money, Asia, Rush, Styx, 38 Special, Dire Straits, Huey Lewis and the News, Billy Squier, Genesis, and Loverboy. This album to me is more of like a new wave. Is more of a new wave type of album in my opinion. That's what I gained from it, especially by the bands like Duran Duran, Billy Squier. Well, I guess Billy Squier, yes, Queen, Huey Lewis and the News, especially that early stuff was a lot more new wavy in a sense, especially back in the early 80s. But very dope, man. If you like 80s music, you'll definitely enjoy this album. Very highly recommended. Pick it up. Then we got Das EFX first album, Dead Serious, released in 1992. For those who don't know who Das EFX is, they're a group. they're from Brooklyn and Jersey, because one member, I believe is Books, I think, or School, no, School was his Books spelled backwards, is from, I think, Brooklyn or Jersey, and Crazy Dre's is from Jersey. Yeah, Books is School is from Brooklyn, and Dre's is from Jersey. Yeah, and they met in Virginia Heights, in the Virginia University of Virginia. I believe that's where they met themselves, and you know, they met, you know, mutual friends, you know, mutual hip hop and shit like that, and they got discovered by EPMD back in the late '80s, back in 1988, and you know, they lost. I mean, they landed second place in the competition, but you know, EPMD was so impressed with their style. It was something different. So they kept in contact and stuff like that. And then years later, they got under the Hit Squad. They became part of the Hit Squad movement and stuff like that. And and hence the rest is history. And then you have Das EFX. How they got their name, I thought it was pretty interesting. I was doing some research before I did this overview. It's pretty much like the reason why they have effects is because they always wanted to have vocal reverb on their vocals, like like the echo and shit like that. So that's why they have the effects, and they were doing a side effects SND because of Scoob and Dre's, but sad didn't make sense, so they just flipped it over and it's called Das EFX, you know what I mean? So it makes sense, you know what I mean? So that's how their name got, started and shit like that. But anyway, getting back to this album, this is their first debut album, classic album, very dope. Known for singles like They Want Effects, which was the first single, Straight Out the Sewer, and Mike Checker. Very dope album, very playful, very, it's not one of those albums that, it's like threatening. It's street, but it's shit that you could play around your peoples, like around your parents and shit like that. You don't have to worry about cursing or anything like that. Now, if you want to talk about the second album and the later albums, then I could understand. But this album, you could play, around your grandmother or your mom and shit like that. But no means that it's corny, like it's that corny like that. But it's still, like, I was just saying, as far as like the cursing, like there's hardly any curses in this album. Very dope. Highly recommended. If you like early '90s hip hop, I'm gonna compare this album, the group. If you guys like EPMD, then you'll definitely enjoy this album, especially sound wise and stuff like that. Maybe not rhyming wise, but production wise, definitely like reminiscent of EPMD, like that sound, especially like from like their fourth album, Business Never Personal, like that sound. Then you'll definitely enjoy this album. Das EFX Dead Serious, released in 1992. Pick it up. Then we got Korn's first album, Korn, self-titled, released in 1994. Excuse me. Yeah, good. Anyways, Korn, they're a group from Bakersfield, California. Excuse me. There we go. Anyways, yeah, Korn, a group from Bakersfield, California. One of the, I guess the originators of nu metal. When they first came out, it was something new. You know what I mean? When they first came out, a lot of metalheads kind of dissed them because it's saying like, oh, it's not real metal and stuff like that. But Jonathan Davis, the lead singer of the group, said himself like, yo, we're not really a metal group, we're part of the nu metal sound, you know what I mean? This is who we are. We're not trying to be like the heavy metal sound and shit like that. So, he pretty much told them like it is, But getting back to this album, very dope album, known for songs like let me check. It's been a while since I heard this album. Blind, which I believe was the first single. Dope video, You see Jonathan Davis like in the high school locker room and shit like that. It's pretty dope, man. What else? I believe Daddy was a single as well. I'm not sure, cause like I said, it's been a while since I heard the album, but I remember Blind being a single and stuff like that. Highly recommend it. I highly recommend checking this album out. If you guys like new metal, then you'll definitely enjoy this album. Highly recommend it. Definitely one of their best albums. And this is actually their first album, by the way. Then we got The Fear, the soundtrack, released in 1984. Dope album cover. This is a soundtrack to the movie, obviously. Have never seen the movie. I've always wanted to see it, but the movie itself is kind of hard to find. So I've been trying to get my hands on that movie. But anyways, very dope album. A lot of horrorcore artists are on this album. So if you guys like horrorcore, then you'll definitely enjoy this album. If you don't like horrorcore, then this album might not be for you. Known for singles, which I believe the only single off this album was there was two singles. There was The Fear and Morty's Theme by Isham. There's a video for that, and Better Off Dead with Half Pet Half Dead. Dope video, very dope. They actually have another song called Never Coming Home. Very fucking dope song. Highly recommend checking that out. You guys could go on YouTube and check that album. Check that song out. Pretty dope. It got songs from Flatliners, like the song Run, which was actually featured on their first album, Under Satan's Authority, which I did a review on. Gravediggers with the song Here Comes the Gravediggers, which was actually featured on the 6 Feet Deep album. Nada's Life After Death, Isham's group, the song Life After Death, which was featured on the first album, Life After Death. Machete, never heard of him, but I actually like that song. Terror, Graveyard Tales, another dope song. Insane Clown Posse, Dead Body Man. I'm not sure what album is that from. I think that's from it's definitely not from Ringmaster. I want to say maybe from the Terror Wheel. I believe it's from the Terror Wheel EP that came out back in '95. I believe. Not sure about that, or unless they made this song for that album. Isham Rocks Off, another dope song. Infrared's Terror, a whole bunch of songs. Highly recommend checking this album out. If you can find it, pick it up. Then we got Cappadonna's first album, The Pillage, released in 1998. By far his best album. He hasn't put out a good album since, in my opinion. Fucking classic album, man. Known for songs like Milk the Cow. There's a video for that, but it wasn't filmed until I believe 2 years ago or last year. He did like Forbes DVD. Shout out to Doggy Diamonds. He actually filmed a video for Milk the Cow. It's kind of like a retrospective flashback video for that song, and he did it. So it's kind of so the song is old, but the video is new. You know what I mean? So I thought that was pretty dope. Known for songs like Slang Editorial, which I believe was the first single. Run, which was a single as well. Obviously Milk the Cow, which was a single as well. Yeah, man, this is a very dope album, man. And True Master, he does a lot of the beats, which I love. Fucking True Master, he's definitely one of my favorite producers. True Master, hold your head up. Definitely, yeah, man, fucking dope album, man. If you guys like Wu-Tang, this is an album to pick up. Like Wu-Tang in its prime, then you'll definitely enjoy this album. Cause me, I love Wu-Tang, but I like Wu-Tang from like the 90s. Wu-Tang now is kind of hit or miss for me. That's just my opinion. But yeah, man, if you like I said, late 90s hip hop, you like Wu-Tang, like you like albums like I don't want to say Wu-Tang Forever, but maybe a little bit of a twist of Ghostface Killer's Iron Man, a little bit, not too much, but and it's just like Cappadonna's twist. then you'll definitely enjoy this album, man. This album is a classic, underrated, very slept on in my opinion. Cappadonna, The Pillage, released in 1998. Pick it up. See how much time I got left. Alright. Got two more, then I'll stop right here. Then we got Lost Boyz, Love, Peace, and Nappiness, released in 1987. This is their second album. Very dope album. Very slept on in my opinion. Another slept on album that I feel like Lost Boyz themselves are underrated. You know what I mean? Because you know, yeah, when they came out back in '95, you know, they were known for songs like Renee, Lens Benz, Coops and Benz and shit like that. But you know, after that, people just kind of like know them just for those songs, and you know, they don't really know them for the album cuts, because the album cuts to me are what really were what made them who they were as far as a group. By the way, rest in peace, Free Guitar. You're definitely missed. To me, you were like probably like one of the best hype man hip hop has ever had and lost. Known for songs like Love, Peace, and Nappiness, which was a single. I believe that was like the only single of the album, because there's a video for that, and I believe that's like the only song, only video that this album has. Beast from the East featured Cannabis. Woo! Cannabis killed that song. Check that song out. Beast from the East by Lost Boyz, with featured Redman and Cannabis. Oh my gosh, Cannabis! And at around this time, Cannabis was I would say he was like affiliated with Lost Boyz and stuff like that, until they had like a falling out. I don't know too much details about that. I've heard stories about it, about Cannabis and Lost Boyz having a falling out and stuff like that. But I remember them rolling together. I remember Cannabis being like affiliated with Lost Boyz and stuff like that. And I believe like Cannabis was actually when he first started back in the early '90s. He was messing with their producer, Mr. Lex. So it kind of makes sense. But yeah, Love, Peace, and Nappiness, released in 1997. Pick it up if you can find it. I believe it's actually out of print, so I mean, if you can find it, definitely pick it up. Then we got the last song I'm gonna check for tonight is Amerikka's Nightmare, released in 1994 by Spice One. Dope album, highly recommended. Like I said, if you guys like you know, West Coast hip hop, Bay Area hip hop like I do, then you'll definitely enjoy this album. G-Funk, like that kind of shit, you'll definitely enjoy this album. Songs singles this album is known for, I believe are what's the song? I believe Face of a Desperate Man was a single, and Jealous Got Me Strapped featuring Tupac, I believe was a single, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure about that, but I definitely think Face of a Desperate Man was definitely a single. But yeah, man, this is definitely one of his best albums. I like Spice One's early stuff. After Black Bossellini, I was kind of wasn't too crazy about his stuff after that. But this album right here, definitely one of his best albums. Definitely check his Spice One, the self-titled album that came out back in '92. Check out his 187 he wrote, and check this album out, and check out his 1996 album. Very dope. Highly recommended. And that's it, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Stay tuned for more videos. Peace.